Hello. We're going to a Shadowbringers extreme fight. This one's particularly challenging. There's a lot of variations of different mechanics. This is the Seed of Sacrifice extreme. There's a lot of thematics here. And so it's like an interesting fight thematically. But if you kind of struggle with... Oh, this person was petting me. If you struggle with remembering what attacks do what based on animations, then this might be challenging. And also, like you can pre-position for things if you can remember the mechanics and like the opposite versions of them. And that's fine. But also there's a lot of mechanics where there are many different ways to handle them, like so there can be a lot of different strategies, and so that will require a significant amount of communication with your party members, because not every party is going to do things the same way. Like, you know, like, there are some mechanics where there's maybe one or two different ways to handle it and that's it, but in this fight there are many varying things that can happen, and so it's not going to be one or the other. So anyway, that's all just to preface this. Okay, so we're picking clock spots, and then we also did some light parties. Here we have some light parties. Not everybody throws down the way markers to stand for light parties, but if you group up like this is also picking light parties. And for this setup, we had a 1 marker here and a 2 marker here for the light party stacks, and then we had some letters in the corner for some other mechanics. So that's that. For the going back to this setup, typically you want your melee to be in the back here for like uptime, because if this is the boss, you want the melee to be able to hit positionals and stuff. And for this particular fight, we had a few different range people, and so I am playing fake melee basically, and that's fine. Anyway, I think that's enough of that. Once we actually see the mechanics, I think the setup for the positions and stuff will make a bit more sense. So we're starting with the fight here. Main tank is gonna point the boss north. Typical thing. Terror Unleashed. Okay, so this brings everyone's health down to 1 or very low, and so healers need to get everybody's health up to the limit. This is going to be a set of mechanics here. There is a limit bar above the boss's head. Okay, as we see normally we have our limit bar, but here, depending on how many bars are lit up with the yellow gold, will determine what mechanic happens. And so for this first one, the Warrior of Light is transcending his limits. For this first one, we have three bars, okay? And so that's gonna do a particular thing, and we'll see that in a moment. The thing is, the limit break thing won't go off immediately. It will be held onto for a while, and so you'll just have to keep in mind how many bars there are. You can either keep looking up, or someone can write in the party chat like what mechanic it's gonna be. This one in particular, 3, is going to be spreads to the corner. If it's 2, it's going to be, I believe, the roll stacks, and 1 is the light party stacks. That might be wrong, but we'll see. Let's not confirm that just yet. I think 2 is wait, I don't remember what I just said. I think 2 is the light party stacks, because then there's 2 light parties, and then 1 is the roll stacks. But we'll see it, and I'll confirm it through video footage and evidence. Okay, but this one, Solemn Confiteor, I think is a paladin move that paladins have. But this War of Light here is going to do this move, and we are going to bait some AoEs. So see how we're all piled up here? That's so that all these circle AoEs will drop in like one spot instead of like all over the place, depending on wherever we're standing. And so then you want to dodge out of that quickly and then go to your spot, your relative clock spot. I'm running back here because this is around where my clock spot is, but this next move, Absolute Stone, we've got these markers here, and typically these markers indicate it's going to be some earth shaker stuff, so it's earth related. It'll do like a cone towards the person with this, and so that's what this is going to look like. So we go to our clock spots, and then we all get hit with this. So ideally you don't overlap with other people. Okay, and then after that is going to be the limit break. So this is where the amount of bars above the boss's head is going to play into part. Since there's 3 bars, this is going to be corners. Specifically because it's going to drop a really big meteor above somebody's head, like above either DPS or either tanks and healers, so DPS or supports. And so what we do is, well, in this particular group, we have the DPS go to their corners, and then the tanks and healers who are north, east, west, south will rotate. And so the healer here will be my pair, and then the tank here will go over here, the healer over here will go to this corner, and the tank over here will go to that corner. That's how we handled it. You can handle it in different ways, but we go to the corner and we stack up together and we share this attack here. Okay, and if you get hit with it, you get a fire resistance down and take some damage. So ideally, when that's going out, people aren't like all piled up in the middle, because that will most likely kill everybody. All right, so we spread it as far as we can into the corners, and then the support people will rotate as a pair. Okay. So that was 3 limit break bars. Okay, that's 3, and typically it is a scripted fight, and so this one is this is usually the first one that we see. Through the prog that I did, I went into this fight a few times, and it is challenging just to get a group to like kind of be all on the same page about stuff. But yeah, this is also minimum eye level, I don't know if I mentioned that, with no echo, so we are going to see basically all the mechanics. But okay, so now the boss is going to recenter. Imbued Saber. Imbued means to like hold on to something, like store something, to bring something into something else, and so the saber is like the sword. And so Warrior of Light imbues his blade with magic. So this is where the variations come into play. We've got this like earthy looking stuff here, and so the earth stuff is going to be the thing we saw at the beginning, which is the cones of rock that goes to each person. And so we want to spread out into our clock spots to spread those cones out. The other variation of this will be a stack. Okay, so it's either spread or stack. It's earth, and so we spread out. Okay, so there's like one little orb going around now. Little things you can notice. Imbued Saber again, so we're gonna get another thing of magic. Okay, so this one is ice. And so with this, when it's ice, you want to move around, be doing stuff like jumping or actually running and things, so that you don't get frozen into a block of ice. And the opposite of that is fire. And so for that one, you don't want to move at all, like not even auto attacks, so that you don't get hit with extra fire damage. It's this pyretic debuff, which I'll point out when we see that. And so at this point, we have the earth, we have ice, and we have this one is imbued coruscants, and this one also has variations. You can either be a circle AoE or a donut AoE. In here, you can see on the sword, there's kind of these circles around there, but don't get confused. The circle itself is indicating that it's a donut AoE, so everything on the outside is gonna blow up. So that means we go into the hitbox. Okay, so we had the earth. Earth, which means clock spots to spread. And then we have ice, which means we have to move around. And then we have this donut AoE, so we have to get into the hitbox. And so you're inside the hitbox, kind of spread and moving around. So that's what that looks like. We get hit with the blizzard, and the blizzard is the one we have to move around for. We get hit with the stone, that's the cone AoE. And then the donut stuff happened on the outside, and by staying inside we don't get hit with that. Okay, so the first time we see it, it will be whatever ones that's picked, and then next time we see this set of mechanics, it will be all the opposite. So instead of earth, we'll see the stack. Instead of this blizzard ice thing, we'll see a fire. Instead of a donut AoE, we'll see a circle AoE, so we have to go outside. So we'll take a look at all that as we go through the prog. Okay, now to the limit. The limit break bar above the boss's head is going to ping. Okay, so here we've got 2 bars, and so that means it's going to be healer stacks the next time the boss does the actual move. So it's storing this stuff right now, so you can keep that in mind. Write it in the chat if you need to, or make sure to like look at the thing. Okay, Sword of Light. This one is kind of tricky for me. There will be these beams on certain sides of the stage, and it will like go around the stage and whatever, and only one side of the stage in like a little corner will have a safe spot. And so here, see, so they're running out, right? Like this. I'll just let it play out. They go across the stage, and you have to like turn your camera to figure out which side is the safe side. And then we have the stack marker where you stack together for that. So the trick seems to be you look at the corner, the sides. Okay. I saw that there was a line over here that went across this way, and it was shiny. Let's see if I can catch it. See this one? It's going across the side, and if it's going across that side, then this is not going to be the side that's safe. On this side, I'm watching for this one to go. Okay, and it's going this way, which means this side's not safe. And then I look back over here, and it does look like this is more shiny. And so, oh my gosh. My cat was here earlier, so my allergies are a little acting up. So this side is a bit shiny, and so this is not going to be a side either. But this one is not as shiny, and I know it's like super difficult to tell the difference, but because this is technically shiny. I would describe this as shiny, but it's not as shiny as this. Like this is yellow, but this is more like blinding with white light, which is, you know, the theme here. Like it's the word of light. There's light everywhere. And so I think if it's hard to tell the color difference, you can just look for like the animation of it. Like, is it kind of glowing a little bit more? You know what I'm saying? But in any case, for the side that has this stuff, sorry, the side that doesn't have the glowy stuff, the side that has just the plain looking one, there's going to be two safe spots, one triangle here and one triangle down here. And so ideally everyone will go into the same triangle and then take that stack together. We'll see it again. But also just know that this stuff, if you stand out there, you'll take a bleed and then you'll slowly die. Okay, so you don't want to go out there. Okay, but after that, we'll see it a few more times so we can kind of figure it out together. Limit break is going to be the 2 bars, and this is going to be healer stacks, and so we've got one group here and one group on the other side. And you'll get a physical vulnerability up for this, and so that's why you can't take multiple hits of it. Okay, to the limit. So this is doing another set of limit break. Okay, so now there's just 1 bar, and so that is going to be roll stacks. This is the mechanic. We saw this in the Tsukuyomi fight, where it will target a tank, healer, or DPS. And DPS, like 1. It'll choose at least 1 for each. And so in order for multiple people, in order for people to not get hit multiple times, we'll have all the tanks stand in one spot, all the healers in one spot, ideally, and then all the DPS in one spot. I think sometimes people say healers can go on whichever side, it doesn't matter as much, but definitely having the tanks together and then the DPS together is ideal. So that means, yeah, 1 extra person will get hit when they're not the target, but that's still better. It's better if everyone gets hit once than someone like accidentally standing too close to someone else, and then some people get hit multiple times and then they die. So we pile up in roll stacks for if it's the 1 limit break for the boss. Okay, it's not ours. It's not ours. You have to look at the one above the boss's head. So we'll have to just remember that. We have these imbued things to handle again. So imbued saber is going to be the opposite of what we started with. So when we first saw it, it was the earth one, but here we've got this sparkly holy stuff, and so this is going to be stacked together. So stay together. And then the next imbued saber is going to be the fire. And so that means don't move, don't attack. And then see, we're slowly kind of pre-positioning because the opposite of the first one we had, the donut, is going to be the circle AoE. And so you kind of just move far away. And here you can see the sword doesn't have the rotating circular thing over it, so there's no donut there. But also you can just remember it's the opposite of the first one. Whichever one will help you remember. Let's see. The sword is also glowing, so I wonder what did this one look like? Okay, never mind. The sword here is glowing too, but you can see the difference, right? This one obviously has these sparkle circle things here, whereas on this one, it doesn't. It has like the rotating orbs, but that was also on the other one. Every time the boss imbues a thing, the sword gets this little orb on it. This thing. See, there's just one right now. But then he imbues another one. So now there's like 2 orbs hanging out. And so then that's just regular. And so here, if you're looking at the sword, and you just see those 2 orbs going around, but you don't see the extra circle thingy, then it's not a donut AoE, it's going to be the circle point blank AoE on the hitbox. So we move apart. We're going to stay stacked together for the healer stack, or just not the healer stack, it's just a single stack. And you don't move because you get a pyretic from this fire thing. Okay, and pyretic means if you are doing attacks or moving, then you get hit with extra damage. Like this person has more damage than everyone else. And then the holy is the circle stack here. And then here you can see the circle AoE from the boss. Okay, once your pyretic goes away, then you can go back to attacking. Yeah, see FM, it was like still up there. And then I think when they were running back, they must have still been moving, it's just a little bit. But anyway, limit break, so that means this thing is going to go off now. So we go into our roll stacks. For this party, we set it up so that DPS are south, tanks are north, and then healers can be west or east. Okay, so what happened there? We got hit with 3 of them because we had some extra people in the stack with us here. This person is, I don't remember, I think just the tanks are targeted right now. But there was just one person in the front, and the healers here, I think the other healers are also here. And then, yeah, whoever this number 2 is, I think it's the other tank. So we got hit multiple times there. See, so we got hit 3 times. You only want to get hit once, okay? So that wiped the party. Okay, never mind. Okay, and then, well, the tank moved up. Okay. In the middle of all that, the tank moved up. The bitter end. That's a tank buster. Oh, you get a physical vuln. You probably want to do a tank swap for that. Okay, and this one's the worm. So there's a dragon that shows up. Absolute flash is going to be, you can kind of see it here. It's the look away look away marker. It's above someone's head, and so you'll have to not look at them while also dodging this dragon that's going to swoop on this side. Okay, so that was a lot for the first pull. Got it all. Nice, good job. You're ready. Okay, so we deliberate a little bit, and then we're gonna go again. Let's take a look.
This battle shall be our last.
So tank is pulling the boss facing forward. Terra unleashes the HP to 1, so healers, it's a healer check. To the limit, the bar on top is charging up. It's usually going to be 3 the first time, so that means we're going to go into the corners. Solemn Confiteor, we're baiting all those. Okay, Absolute Stone, clock spots. Okay, and then, because I'm range, I can go to my spot a little bit earlier, because I can still attack the boss. Limit break, the 3 bar limit breaks going down, so we got meteors going into the corners. Okay, so make sure you're with your partner. Again, it's gonna target either DPS or the supports, and so by pairing up a DPS with a support, it's guaranteed that you will have a comet in that corner, and you want to spread those comets out away from each other so people aren't taking multiple hits of that. Imbued Saber. Okay, so we'll look at the first element. Okay, we have Earth, so that's clock spots because it's going to do the cone, so we have to spread out. Imbued Saber again. It's going to be ice or fire. Okay, it's fire, so that means we don't move. And then it's either going to be in or out. And it looks like it's out. because there's no extra swirly thing up here. So we're outside, spread apart for the fire thing, I'm sorry, for the earth thing, and then we're gonna stand still for the fire stuff. No attacking, no auto attacks. Wait for the pyretic to go off. It's like, it's 3 seconds, I think. So you do have to like wait a moment even after the animation pauses. Yeah, so it's 3 seconds. Okay, and you can go back. To the limit, the bar is gonna get charged up on top. Okay, there's 2. You can also hear the little like ching noise if you can't see it. So there's 2, so that means there's gonna be a healer stack after whatever sets of mechanics. Sword of Light. This is the one where this stuff is gonna go across the way, the star stuff. So take a look at the corners of this stage. I think it's good to like look at 2 sides and see if that side's glowing or not after a moment. And if they are, then you definitely know it's not going to be that side that's safe. So then you can look at the other sides. It took me a bit to like get used to it though. It's a lot of camera movement. Also the glowing part still looks like everything else, so it's kind of tricky for me. Okay, so this side is clearly not it. This side is clearly not it. This side is clearly not it. You see how like much this is glowing? And compared to this that I know now is like not a good spot, it looks exactly like this. But then there's this part that's like just yellow, but this stick thingy is going that way, so it's gonna start glowing. So then that's why I'm heading down the other way. And then follow the stack marker really. If you are the stack marker and you can't figure it out, follow everyone else. Because it does take a while to get used to. Then immediately after that, we have the limit break going out, and it's 2. Okay, so that's healer stacks. So stack up with your light parties. And make sure you are far enough apart so people aren't getting hit twice with this physical bone up. Okay, to the limit. So the bar above the head is gonna charge again. It's 1 this time, so there's gonna be roll stacks. Alright, we've got these ones, the imbued saber. It's gonna be the holy, so we're gonna stack together. And then it's gonna be ice because it's the opposite of what we had before, which was fire. So we have ice, so we stack together. We have to be moving, and it's probably gonna be inside donut because last time we got the circle AoE. So. Okay, so people are jumping to make sure that I usually run around in a circle. There we go. And then we stayed together too, and we got hit with the holy. That was the stack. And then after that set of mechanics, we get the limit break, and it's the 1, and therefore it's rolls. So each roll goes to their place. So DPS south, tanks north. We have a healer over here. Oh, I think we had, okay, yeah, never mind. The other healer was on this side, so that doesn't matter as much. As long as the healer wasn't here, then the healer one could get tossed that way or this way, and that's fine. And then the tank one's always up here, and then the DPS one's down there. Yeah. Like, keeping the healers kind of spread out like that is also, like, it doesn't hurt. If anything, it will keep one of the healers, like, with higher health. And so that's why it's not like super important that the healers are both stacking on one side together. Like that's fine. Like they get more leniency with that. But everybody else needs to stay in their roles. The bitter end is a tank buster. And you'll get a vuln stack, so you could do a tank swap there. Summon worm, we're gonna get a dragon. Okay. Also, oh, we have the dragon over here, right? We had the baits, the AoEs here, so you want to kind of stay stacked together. There wasn't a cast for that, but the boss did this like little animation thing, and I think that is what indicates that there's gonna be a bait of AoEs. But anyway, here we have AoEs that we need to dodge, and so we need to get out of that. But then at some point we need to avoid looking at this person, and we need to avoid this side of the stage because of the dragon. Usually what people will do is have whoever has the look away marker just stand further back from everyone else, and everyone just stays closer to the boss. So then other people don't have to worry about looking at them. Okay, see, so the rest of us are up here, and then the person with the look away thing is like back there. And so we don't have to worry about that. And then here, absolute flash, we dodged that. And then the dragon's gonna rush across the stage. Okay. Dragon dive. This one is a raid wide. Okay, now Spectre of Light. We're gonna get some little characters that come out, and we're gonna have different sets of mechanics here. For this phase, we're gonna get towers, stacks, and dragons. Okay, so we got these two dudes. This is a warrior and a dark knight. I know that when the warrior and when the dark knight, or when the summoner or the white mage, like when certain jobs, classes are out here, we get certain mechanics, but I don't know. I can't bother with remembering which matches to what. Like, I just remember the mechanics themselves. And so if you're good at that, then you can be like, oh, the Dark Knight's out, therefore we're gonna get this and that. Like, good for you, that's great, but like, I just cannot remember that. I just know that when we get to this part of the fight, we usually see this and that. In later parts of the fight, that will be a bit more important, because there's gonna be different sets of classes that come out in combination. And you can pre-position and stuff like that, but like I said, it's not my strong suit to remember the different classes, so you'll have to watch a different video for that. Or I'll probably over compensate and try anyway. Okay, so we have the warrior, the dark knight, and then we've got, this is a bard, I don't know. And then this one's like a, is that the black mage? Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, and then we've got like this one. Okay, here we go. White. We have a white mage, we have a black mage, and a bard. Okay. Point is, I don't know exactly what these names go to. We'll figure it out. But what we do have here is that all the DPS in your party is going to get flare markers. And so you want to spread those out, ideally in the corners. And then, at some point, all the healers, both healers, are going to get stack markers. And then, we also have these tower soaks up here. And you need at least 2 people in those tower soaks. Okay? And so, you need people to help stack with the healers, and you also need at least 2 people taking the tower things. So mechanically, that's what we're looking at. How you handle that is where all the variables come into play, and where communication matters a lot with the party. So here, I dropped my flare marker, and then we got these dragons out. I think the dragons come from the summer. We got the dragons out, but I'm ignoring the dragon. I'm taking the tower. The stack thingy happened, something like that, and then now the dragons are tethering to people. If you are in the tower, it looks like you get a fire resistance down for a bit from the meteor impact. And so I think that will make it a little more difficult to grab other stuff. Okay. Like these dragon things, for example. If we have fire resistance down and these dragons do like this fire, blue fire move, then that can hurt there. Okay, see, so all the, let's see. Right now, all the tanks and healers have this fire thing right now because they got hit with the stack marker. Okay, wait, let me explain. In this particular party, we had DPS go to the sides, and then after that, DPS takes the tower soaks. The tank and healer will go off to the east and west side, take care, like, you know, attacking the boss and things like, or the ads, and then the tanks and healers are taking the stack together. Other strategies for this are that DPS move the flare markers outside, and then a tank stands inside the tower with the ad, and then melee DPS run into the tower with a tank, and then the healers over here, because they're ranged and so they can still kind of attack the boss from afar, and then the ranged player will go stand with the healer. And with that, you're able to maintain uptime for melee, because melee will be able to attack the boss close. But with this configuration, we did it different in that all DPS will take the tower. Tanks and healers will take the stack. So we'll take a look here. So I get hit with this, but once this stack goes off, we'll see that the tanks and healers get hit with fire damage. Okay, see, so the stack itself gave fire resistance down, which is then why they can't also take the tower, or else they'll die. So you don't want to put the stack inside the tower. And then after that, like a moment after that, the towers will hit, and then that's when we also get fire resistance down here. Okay, so yeah, with this one, after the tower and stack situation, the tanks still have their ads, and in this party, the tanks went north to grab the dragon tethers up north while bringing the ads with them, and the healers went south to grab the dragon tethers in their corner. You remember at the very beginning we had the limit break 3 thing, and the tank up here went over here to this corner, healer went here, tank went here, like they spread out like that. So essentially they're doing the same thing here, where the tanks will go into their corner, pick up the tether for that dragon, and then the healers go south to pick up the other one. And it's kind of timed in a way where, see, I still have my fire resistance down, and so here the tanks and healers take the hit of it, and then they get another fire resistance down. There was a moment there where we all had it, the fire resistance down thing. Okay, see, like at this moment, if I took this tether, I'd probably die. And so at this moment it snapshots, and so the tanks and healers are getting their fire resistance down, which means they're technically, it's snapshotting so that they get hit with this thing even before you see the animation. And so if it had snapshot and I still had the tether, I'd probably die at this point. And so we configured it like that, okay? Other ways people have done it is that the range players will take care of like the north dragons and the... Okay. It's hard to explain because that's not exactly what we did in this footage, but the other variation that I had said, where people are doing their uptime thing, is here the tanks would stand, and then eventually the melee DPS will go stand there, right? So if range goes here instead and stacks with the healers, then by the time they get their fire resistance down thingy, they'll have time to go grab, because they're the first ones to get the fire resistance down with the healer. They can go take the dragons when they come up, because by then the fire resistance debuff will drop. So it's essentially just that the tanks and the range players switch places. So So if we swap places, then I would go pick up this tether instead of the tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really just managing your debuffs to figure out what works for your party. Like, if it's too complicating to split up the DPS, then have all the DPS just go to the towers instead of saying melee go here, range go here. But I'm technically a range player. No, you're fake DPS, right? So that can cause issues. And so this is a situation where there are strategies that optimize the fight for more DPS, like as in damage output, or there's strategies that are safer so that it's easier for people to understand and you're more likely to get a clear. So you have to kind of pick and choose which one's better for your party. Okay, so for in this one, we chose to have the DPS take the towers, tanks and healers take the first stack, and then they take the dragons. And again, this is all to balance out these fire resistance things so people don't die. Alright? So, after that situation, we still do need to kill these adds. And right now, we have 2 stacks of the limit break, and so I ended up using it for these adds. And if we kill the adds, we get another stack of limit break. So this is also, you know, a DPS check here. You'll see. We'll see. Okay. So, see, there we go. Now, even though I used the limit break, we got our limit break back after we destroyed the adds. There we go. Is it 1 add per half bar? Okay, this one's about to die. Yeah, it's like going up. Okay. So we get 1.5 bars for killing 1 add, and then when we kill the other one, we get the other set. So now we have 3. Okay. And we took care of that pretty well. And so we have this raid wide here.
Mankind's first hero and his final hope.
Okay. So the situation is typically you have a little like DPS check like bar here, and if this reaches 100, that's usually a wipe, right? And so that's the same situation here, but there's a few other steps involved just for the theming. Because we killed both adds, whether I had used limit break or not, because we killed both adds, we get limit break 3. Okay, by using the limit break we had gathered already from the previous parts of the fights, I just made it so that we got like more, we got to utilize more of what we get from killing the adds. But in this part, because there's this limit break here with 4 of them, you have to use your tank LB3 and a bunch of mitigation in order to survive this. And so it's not just killing the adds fast enough, it's killing the adds so that you can get LB3, and then you have to use LB3 or else this will kill you. Okay, so you have to remember that there's more steps to it than just killing the adds. And then definitely if you don't kill the adds fast enough, then you also won't have LB3, and if it gets to 100 anyway, you would just die to this. And so yeah, but it's not the situation here. We have LB3, and so we use the tank LB. And there's like, let's see if I can figure out what the timing is.
Mankind's first hero and his final hope.
It seems like it's right when these 4 things are done going up, then that's when they hit LB. Yeah, that was just enough for all that. Okay, so as soon as the 4th one finishes going up on the bar, you can listen to the the audio cue, then that's when you want to hit your LV, your tank LV. Alright, Imbued Saber. Okay, we got fire first, so don't move. Spectre of Light. Okay, so it's saving two things, okay? We got fire stored in here. Oh wait, no, sorry, this one. Spectre of Light is when the boss will bring out like one of these people. I think that's what happened. Yeah, here. Spectre of Light. To me, where is the light? Okay, so this part, Imbued Saber, is just saving fire in the sword, so saving this mechanic for later. That's my bad. Spectre of Light is calling out for help. And so this one, what is this? The summoner? Summoner? Okay, I'm gonna try my best. This is the dragon one, I believe. Yeah, because the summoners summon like pets and stuff. Okay, so this is the dragon one. This can be random. It can be the summoner, or it can be like a ninja, or it can be some other combination of different warriors of light. And so I think what's best is just to understand independently what each of them do, and then you can sort it out from there, because it will be random. But here, they're gonna do their stuff. We got the dragons out. Oh, and there's someone else too. I'll cut them down to size. Okay, who's that? Is that the warrior? Okay, the warrior is doing perfect something. Okay, decibel. Oh yeah, that is one of the warrior moves. Okay, and then the summoner is doing flare breath. Okay, so flare breath is the thing we saw the dragons do before, which is whoever has the tether gets like fire thrown at them. And then this perfect decibel thing is gonna... Oh, wait, hang on. 4 players will be marked with decimation, my bad. Decimation markers before, and then it would blast a 4-point cleave in their direction. Okay, so whoever has these little markers are gonna get cleaved towards them, and then whoever has these tethers are gonna get cleaved towards them. And so we gotta organize this a bit. Similarly to what we did before with the pairs, everyone goes to their pair area and we'll handle it like that. So the tethers themselves, you can pick who chooses the tether, but with the little markers, it's either going to be DPS or the supports. And so that's why we, divide it up into our quadrants, and DPS will work with whoever their support partner is. So whoever has the marker should not be taking the tether, because that's like way too much damage. And then so their partner needs to go pick up the tether. While this is happening, while you're like getting yourself situated, there's this solemn confiteor, which is going to be the AoEs underneath people. So this is tricky because you might want to pre-position yourself for stuff, but then if the solemn confiteor goes out, like you'll see, like I moved off to the side a little bit because I was like, oh no, I'm like basically boxing myself in. But here I got hit with both of the things, and I also got fire resistance now, and so I died. Okay, so that's why you can't take 2 of them. It's like way too much damage, and you want to swap them. After that though, it will happen one more time, and so whoever had the marker before won't have the marker again, and so this time the healer has the marker, and then the other person will switch to grab the tether. And so ideally the first time I would have been like standing off to the side here, and then I would get hit with the tank cleave, and then the healer would have taken the dragon breath, and then we would have switched. I would take the tether, and then they go over here to tank the warrior cleave. Okay, that's how it was supposed to go. But this is prog. Also, again, we got the circle AoEs from the confiteor thing. to watch out for. So, tricky business, you gotta be careful. The issue too is like, these are cleaves, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be pointing this to other people. And then even with the little markers above your head, you don't want to like point that to other people. Okay, let's see what happens over here. This person, see this person goes here, they have that AoE. And, okay, I think they also didn't have that much health. Okay, but that's that mechanic, alright? Summon Worm is the dragon that we've seen before already. Imbued Coruscants. We've got the circle around the sword, so that's a donut. But also remember, before the phase of the 4 dragons and stuff, we had the saved fire thing. So that means you want to go inside the hitbox, because this is the donut AoE. And then you also don't want to move at all. Also, you want to stay away from the dragon. Okay, see, so there's the fire paretic thing. El Dragon Dive is going to be a big raid blade. Okay, the Bitter End is Tank Buster. Okay, quintuple cast. So all these little mechanics we've seen around the boss, like the spread, the stack, the look away, the move or don't move inside the hitbox or outside the hitbox, this is all going to go into this quintuple cast thing in varying form. So first we got the play button, so that's going to be you need to keep moving, so that's the ice one. We got a look away mechanic right here. Okay. Okay, and then we have the fire one. How many was that? Quintuple, is 5? Okay, so we got the ice. Ice, look away, so that's 2. I'm counting on my fingers. Oh, I think that was Earthshakers. Okay. So, ice, look away, spread, then fire, don't move. And then something else. Oh, okay. I think that was a stack. Okay, let me try to see if I can catch it again. Okay. I can kind of see it now. There's a stack marker somewhere in here. So, stack first. Move around for ice. Look away from the gaze thing. Don't move. Fire. And then, oh yeah, wait. And then there's like the Earthshakers thing somewhere in there. It's hard, I know. I'm dead right here, so it's hard to see. But there are 5 different things. So the first one is the stack. Okay, so this is the stack one. The holy. And then ice, so you're moving around, so that's 2. That was the look away mechanic, the absolute terror or absolute light or something like that, but it's the look away one, so that's 3. Oh yeah, see the Earthshakers, that's 4. And then the final one is going to be the fire, so you don't move. Okay. So it's a lot to keep track of, right? Oh, okay, so here, there's this one. Oh, this is a good angle for this. Clearly, this side is not good, okay? Clearly, this side is not good. And so, I think maybe you can always look at the corner that this is coming from, and it's either going to be this side or this side. The one that starts in the middle, whereas these ones on the side, they start on the actual side. So the one that cuts through, okay. This one's going here, so that means this safe side is over here. Because see, like, this one's there in the middle, so I don't know necessarily if this side will be clear or not, but it came over here and then it crossed over. So that means this side's not safe. So your spots are going to be here or over here. Dragon Dive is the raid wide. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, let me just skip ahead to see the variations of some of this stuff. This is the Spectre of Light stuff, and then for the final pull we can like look at the other stuff. I went to my corner because I didn't really know what was up. Oh wait, no, this is the, okay, wait, never mind. This is these ones. So, for this phase, we see tanks and healers here, and then I'm going to the corner for my flare thingy. Okay, so I drop my cleave, and then I'm gonna run to the tower because tanks and healers are gonna take care of the stack. Stack goes off, towers go off, tanks and healers are gonna go pick up the dragon tethers. We're attacking the ads still. See, I'm like kind of trying to stay back a little so I don't get hit with this. And then as I'm a ranged DPS, I got a long AoE. I try to position myself so I can hit both the ads. And then we take care of the ads, so we'll recharge our limit break. Okay. And then we'll stack up and wait for the boss's limit break and use LB3 when it hits 4.
Mankind's first hero and his final hope. For victory, I render up my all.
Okay. Okay.
You'll still stand.
Okay, Spectre of Light. So we're gonna get some specters here. Also, there was a 2 of the limit there. Did you see that? So that means the boss is going to save a limit break situation. Right here. Also, there's like ads on the side. As in like the Warriors of Light that will do certain mechanics. I think they always stand in particular places, so if you can't remember who is who, what their job names are, you can kind of remember the position that they're standing. Because like the summoner was here and the warrior was here, and then this one is, they're different. But in any case, you can kind of hear this, right? This is going to be the 3. So that means we're going to have to go into our corners later. Okay, so we have a white mage and a black mage. So here, we're going to get towers. There are going to be towers that pop up every which way. And so this is also a situation where you need to have 2 people to soak them, and but then you're also going to get debuffs. And so you have to coordinate who takes what. For this group, it seems like what we were trying to do is tanks go first, and then the healers, and then the melee, and then the range. So tanks are grabbing it first. And then here's the second one, so ideally the healers will go there. And then here's the third one, so ideally melee will go here. And then the last one, range will go here. Okay, I was a little confused because I went to this one a bit because I thought I was fake melee, but someone else was already there, so I was like, I'm not gonna argue, I'm just gonna go over here. Because technically we have 3 range players, and so like in the moment it would be too difficult to finagle with, okay? And so first one hits, that's the tanks. And as you can see, they get a fire resistance thingy. They will head over to the one across from them, because that was the next set that showed up. Like they'll take the first one and the fifth one. So you have to keep track of the order that these towers pop up. Okay, so this is the fifth one. So that means while the tanks were waiting there, they're watching for the fifth one to show up. Okay, and then when they're running over, the healers are about to get hit, and then they'll take the next one. The sixth one, so ideally this one. Because by the time the tanks go here, by the time their comets go down, they'll have lost this fire resistance thing. So that's why we have to do it in order. So yeah, the healers went over here. And then ideally, yeah, the melee got hit, and so they go to the next one. We are about to get hit, and so then we go to the next one. Tanks are getting hit. They lost their fire resistance down, see? And so they lose it. The timing is very tight here. They lost it, and then they're about to get hit again, but because they lost it before, they're not going to get hit with extra. So then the healers get hit, and then the melee gets hit, and then the range get hit. Okay, that will take some getting used to for the timing, but yeah, that's how that works. I think other people have done things where it's like, you know, maybe tanks are always going to be north, healers are always going to be east, range is always going to be over here, melee is always going to be here. And for that, you can't also maintain uptime because then the boss will be facing that way. And then this is the back, so melee always has access to the back for positionals or whatever. But I think that can also be confusing for people, because then it's like you have to keep track of whether you're getting the first one or not. And then you have to keep track of, oh, what's the next one next to me, to figure out the timing. So like for example, we're all in our spots and the tanks got hit first, but by the time they get hit, they might not realize that they were first, and they're like, okay, wait, so then which one do we go to? This one or this one? You know what I'm saying? It's a little more confusing. And so I think that's why for this particular part, we did it by roles going into the thing first, so then you keep it a little bit more organized like that. But again, your goal is to go stand in the towers, to soak the towers, so you don't get even more damage if one of these meteor things hits the actual stage. And then another goal is to keep everyone alive, which means not taking a tower if you have a fire resistance down. Okay, so whatever strategy you use to make all that work out, cool. Okay, we have the dragon on this side, and then Coruscant Saber. So this is going to be inside or outside. Okay, this is the circle thingy, therefore it's a donut AoE. So we go inside the hitbox. Careful with the dragon side though, just in case the boss has moved in any way. Okay. Limit break is going out, so it's 3. There's 3 here, so then we go into the corners. Ideally with our pair, just like at the very beginning. The bitter end is the tank buster. And we'll do a tank swap here. Quintuple cast. Okay, so first we have to keep moving, and then we stack, and then we spread, and then we don't move, and then we look away from a person. Did you get all that? We had someone write it all down. So ice, so move around, and then we're gonna stack up, and then go to your clock spots, don't move, and then look away from whoever has the thing. And so I look just outside. I moved a little too fast, which is why I got hit with a tick of damage. from the pyretic because I looked away a little too fast. But there we go. Absolute flat. I was able to dodge it though. And it looks like one person didn't, and so they got a damage down. But that was pretty good, you know what I'm saying? I think it was because that this one person wrote out the entire quintuple thing, so we just did it in order like that. If you have really bad short-term memory, like I do, it can be very tricky to remember all those variations. But either practice or have someone nicely write it in the comment in the box. Okay, this configuration, it will go a lot faster. Okay, and it kind of looks like there's a bunch more going around, but I was able to turn my camera and see that this is more like a darker yellow, like a more dim gold than like this whiter, light gold shiny stuff. Okay, so we dodged that. And then this was the Dragon Dive here, so you can kind of see. We go to our safe spot, and then the boss is casting Dragon Dive, so there's a lot of healing here. Wow, this person's clutch. Got top DPS, and they're just like jumping into it. Oh yeah, wait, I remember that person. They're one of the people who were in here with somebody else, and they're the ones always running this content. And so I think they were very used to the fight. Yeah, they dashed over and then they dashed back. Very clean. Yeah, so that was a raid wipe there. Wait, is that a ninja or is that a samurai? I always get them confused what the icons look like. Anyway, imbued saber. So we're gonna take a look at what this looks like. It's ice. Okay, so it's gonna save ice. So now this one is the warriors here. Okay, is this the summoner? I think there's a summoner. Okay, so I'm over here. See, I'm hanging out over here right now because of the Coruscant. Oh, sorry, not Coruscant. The Confiteor thingy. So I'm gonna bait the thingy. And then it looks like my partner has the marker, so I'm just gonna let them take care of that. And then I am gonna take the tether, stand off to the side a little to bait the thing, and then I'll stand in the corner to take this hit. Okay, fortunately I didn't get hit with the other one, so that's good. Okay, and then now we'll switch, so I will get the marker, and my partner should ideally grab the tether. Okay. The Confiteor thing is going out, and so because they stood right there, they didn't really have spots, so they moved over, but it's fine. There's nobody over there, so that's fine. But I move over here for my the warrior decimation thingy. But I see when you get hit with this, it can be a little dangerous here. I got hit with 2 of them. And I believe it's because we had one person who was standing there, and this is another DPS, the samurai. They had their marker kind of close to me. The thing is, the cone comes from this dude, okay? And so because the boss was a little bit more forward, I think that's why they were standing right here, whereas I was standing, you know, west, but their thing went to them, and then also my thing went to me, and so we both got hit with each other's. So, but then we had this person in the north area, the dancer, who was partners with them. So yeah, this is the warrior, and it's going like this. But because they were there. But then if they stood back over here, they wouldn't have been able to hit the boss. And so I think they were trying to maintain uptime, and if I had gone up closer to the boss, it might have worked out differently. But then if I was standing here, then the warrior's attack would have gone like this, and it would have hit those people. And so I think that's why it's a little tricky. Okay, but over here, you can see this melee person, the warrior was here, would have hit them like this. And then for the person north, it would have been like this. So maybe this person got hit with 3 of them. I'm not sure. Can we see? It looks like, no, it looks like they got hit with 2. Unless it comes from the boss. But I don't think it does. Let's see. Okay, see the warrior is like wielding the axe. Okay, and then the warrior is about to jump down. Okay, the Confiteors go out. Yeah, okay, so you see this, the boss is right here. Alright, and the warrior is right here. And this is literally coming towards me this way, and you can see the other one going that way. And then there's one going like this. And so with the samurai, is this a samurai? Man, I can never, I'm just gonna keep calling it samurai. With the samurai right there, they were either gonna get hit with mine or this person's. Okay. That seems like what happened there, because there doesn't seem to be one going back this way. I mean, yeah, they're standing. Ah, crashed. Inevitable. Just a moment. I will get it back. Ah, dang it. Control Alt Delete. Also, is this the last pull? Make sure the file's not already open. Yeah, it's not, man. Because it crashed. What are you talking about? Okay, here we go. Let me see. Is this? I think it's right here. Yep. Put the time down. So, what was I talking about before? Oh yeah. So this person, who gets? Yeah, I think that's a samurai thing. Somehow they died, and I think it's because of where they were standing. They either got hit with the north one and their own, or they got hit with mine. It's likely they got hit with mine because I got hit with theirs, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to this person also getting hit with theirs. So that's that situation. It could be that they were like just a bit off center from this one, and so it went like this. Just a little off to the side. Yeah, so that's that. Summon worm, so we got the dragon out. So this is the circle-y one, so that where it's a donut AoE. And if you saw that there was like when the dragon was going across. Okay, that was also the blizzard thing, so you need to be moving because that was what was stored before we had the Warriors of Light go out. The dragon. Oh, wait. See here how the dragon kind of goes through the hitbox right there? So you have to be careful about where the dragon is and standing on like this side. Okay. And then people are jumping around because of the ice thingy. And if you're not moving, then you get frozen for a bit. And you're a block of ice. L Dragon Dives, the raid wipe. The bitter end's gonna be the tank buster. And beat saber. So it's gonna save a thing, so it's the earth thingy, so we have to spread. Spectre of Light is another set of classes coming out for another set of mechanics. Cleansing water, wash away. Okay, this is ninja. So, oh yeah, cleansing water. So there's gonna be a water like tower on a side of the stage, and that's gonna do a knockback. But we're gonna get a solemn confiteor, so we need to bait that, and then we go to our pair corners. At least for this group, that's how we're handling it. After the confiteor, we use our knockback prevention, so we don't even have to worry about the knockback, and we go into our pair corners, because right after that we're gonna get four stack markers, and so we pair up with the person we've been pairing up with, and ideally you'd stand together. The Sutan sound thingy was what the ninja was casting before. The Kaito-san is the water thing, okay. And this is what would knock you backwards. So we bait the confiteor, and we'll go into our pair corner-ish spots, and then you can see the water spout up here, right? And so you could go run towards it and then ride the knockback, or you could just stand with your partner and then hit your knockback prevention. There is a particular timing to this, and I definitely through Prague was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go here, and then I end up getting punted off the stage because I didn't hit my knockback fast enough. And so, however, okay, yeah, see, this person was like over here at the beginning, and they got a bleed. Okay, so that's so interesting. Okay, like, because I saw their bleed over here, so it snapshot them over there. Let's see if I can capture it. This thing goes off. YP is my healer partner. They have a bleed right now, but it's not because they're standing, like their character is literally here, but it's because they ended up down here in the side of the stage. Because all of a sudden, you see them running up over here, right? And so, man, this game's so wonky in terms of like snapshots. But yeah, so they were here, and you see how far they slid backwards. And also, as you can see, the outside shimmery stuff, it doesn't kill you quickly. It gives you a very deep bleed. And so you can salvage it. They're also a healer, and so let's see if they can save themselves. Well, I ended up dying because the stack went off and I didn't have my partner there in time. But that's how we handled it here. Partner pairs would go together in their corners, ideally. Use your knockback prevention to stay stacked up. Like they executed it the way that this group wanted it to. So they were able to stay here, use their knockback thingy. This group also was able to stay together, use their knockback thingy. And over here we kind of had some situations where it didn't really work out. But for the most part, that's how this group handled it. And then each of those stack markers would do fire resistance down. And so, yeah. Ideally, you'd share that. Imbued Coruscant. Okay, so this is this one. So it's a donut AoE, so you want to get inside the hitbox. And then also remember, it was the Earth one save, so you're inside the hitbox but spreading. El Dragon Dive is the raid wide. Okay, the Bitter End is the Tank Buster. Yeah, I think this is the clear. Unless I chose the wrong video. Wow, so like we only saw the end of these mechanics like once for this group. I had practiced already in other fights and I had seen Enrage, and so that's why I knew most of the mechanics. But okay. Okay, so we had the to the limit, and so the bar above the head is getting charged up. It's 2, so that's going to be the healer stacks. Spectre of Light is going to bring out some dudes. Okay, so here, okay, we're baiting, we're kind of together, and so we had the Confiteor things, right? So that's nothing new. But here we have AoEs, and we need to spread those to the corners and drop them directly in the corner because they're gonna expand into these orb things. So we get hit with a little bit, and then you want to move inwards and see how they're expanding. So we want to drop them as far in the corner as possible so they don't end up touching each other and exploding. And then we're gonna get flare markers and a stack marker. So 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 DPS is gonna get a flare marker, and then everyone else stacks up. Ideally, this is coordinated, but we kind of YOLO swagged it because we hadn't seen this in this group. But it looks like having, like, remember the limit break 1 situation where we had all tanks go north, healers west or east, and then DPS south? Like, you can still use that configuration. So I was heading south, but I kind of saw that this person was also heading south, and then they went there, so I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just go over here. So it takes adjusting, right? But that was okay. We managed okay, and everyone else was in the middle stacking together. But you want to spread those flare markers. So that was, who is that? The Bard. This is the Bard's mechanic. When the Bard comes out, we've got the domes on the side expanding, and then we got the flare markers and the stacks. Okay, limit break. So this is the healer stacks because there's 2. I think we saw all of the things. And so after this, it's probably just a bunch of like little mechanics and then Enrage. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we saw the Summoner with the Dragon and the Warrior where I died. The Dark Knight and the Bard. Wait a minute. Was there a Dark Knight there or just the Bard? Wait. Is there a Bard here? Oh wait, there's a Dark Knight. This is the Dark Knight. Oh, okay, yeah, that does look like the Dark Knight thing. This Brimstone Earth, that's the Dark Knight thing. Yeah, that's the thing that Dark Knights use. Okay, so the Dark Knight does the orb thingy, and then the Bard, yeah, this one's the Bard. The Bard is the one that does the flare and stack thingy. Okay, so we saw that. And then the White Mage and Black Mage is the tower thingy, which we saw. And then the Ninja is the knockback one, which we saw. Okay, so we saw all of them. Cool. Yeah, this was a pretty good group. We had a few pulls to like finesse some of the stuff, but I think most people had progged it before or done the fight before and knew it. So it worked out that we were able to get a clear pretty quickly. I know this doesn't seem quick. We were here for like 30 minutes in this footage we were together. But like I said, I had progged it with other people and hit Enrage, and like it didn't work out. Or the instance would like end. I think we got to like 3% or 0.3%, and then the duty failed because we maxed out the instance timer. So this one is tricky to just remember what mechanics do what and what order, because there's like if this then not this other one, and then because there's so many different ways to handle the mechanics in terms of like pairing up with each other or doing this and that. I think that's why this can be a bit tricky of a fight. But again, if you communicate with your party well, then I think it will go fine.